Zak Bagans and Ghost Adventures have just announced that they are going to be doing an all-new season of Ghost Adventures House Calls, and this will be premiering on August 20th, 2025. And they have promised this to be one of the biggest and most severe cases that they've ever covered. And apparently it features an emergency situation. Yeah, so it claims, but you know, obviously that's very good marketing stuff right there. They've dropped a little teaser trailer for this as well, and we're going to be taking a little look at that, kind of looking into what the reactions online have been, because it's been polarizing to say the very least, with some similar discrepancies coming up across the board. But let's take a little look at the trailer first. E.T. and Discovery, please don't copyright me.
I don't think that we've ever had a house calls this absolutely serious.
In the house, you don't feel like you're ever alone.
The front door just opened.
You do live on land that is cursed.
He's just not the same person that I met.
What's going on?
I don't know. Something is happening.
Whoa.
What is that?
This spirit is feeding off of him.
They are being attacked.
It tries attacking me because it knows that I'm trying to protect my mom.
I told her it owned her.
One of the most severe cases that we've done on house calls.
I know there's something in here.
It's still in her.
Like it overtaking her?
Yeah.
Are you feeling okay? Rachel?
Obviously, it's looking like it's going to be a very dramatic season, as per the norm for Ghost Adventures House Calls. I know a lot of people really enjoy this kind of thing, so I'm not going to, poop on it or anything like that. It does look incredibly exciting. Obviously, we've seen some kind of paranormal activity clearly, allegedly taking place with the door opening. But there are some of the older issues creeping back in. Obviously, the most that we got to see of Zak Bagans within the show was from a Zoom camera of some capacity, or at least a webcam in his little recording studio from his house. And also they're touting some kind of little possession at the end with that woman, looking somewhat gaunt and, aggressive, let's say. Now, obviously, this has been touted to be one of the bigger seasons. I think it's only going to contain about 5 episodes from what I can find online. I could be wrong about that, so I do apologise. But apparently, they're responding to some urgent calls from house owners experiencing intense and escalating paranormal activity. Now, the key highlights from the season include the season premiere, obviously, which kicks off in Las Vegas, with Zak Bagans actually joining the team on site for an emergency case involving a suspected demon possession after a man's ex-wife and affecting a man's ex-wife and their teenage daughter. So I can only assume that'll probably be what we saw at the end of the trailer. And Zak is actually on site for that one. Now, I don't know if he's got the qualifications to exorcise a demon, but, it is Ghost Adventures after all. I wouldn't be surprised if at the end of the season, Zak gets possessed himself. Anyway, other episodes also include various cases across the United States. And these are most likely the cases that we'll probably see Zak not necessarily present, but we might say other members of the team present. So one such incident includes a historic home in Ohio plagued by aggressive spirit activity, a sinister force tied to a gruesome past terrorizing an old elderly man in Oklahoma. We've got a supernatural mystery in Missouri disrupting a man's life and career, and apparently a California American Legion post believed to be overtaken by a demonic activity. Those are the things that we've obviously got. Now, Bagans is typically, doing other investigations or, doing stuff from his headquarters in Las Vegas and dispatching a team to go and conduct the paranormal investigations kind of on his behalf. And he's usually there in spirit, pardon the pun. And that's probably the format that we're going to see. Now, the response to this has been mixed, to say the very least. Obviously, people absolutely love Zak. They absolutely love Ghost Adventures. They love anything that Ghost Adventures put their name to. You know, obviously people either love Billy or Aaron or, you know, whoever else is part of the crew, and that's completely fine. But like I say, there has been some positive responses to this. So there's been a lot of enthusiasm and excitement for this new season. Some fans are absolutely thrilled that House Calls is going to be coming back once again. And there's an appreciation for the team as well. So the fact that the team are going to be a little bit more involved seemingly this season, people are absolutely over the moon about. And some people even say that they've got a preference to the House Calls in posts that I've seen, to the House Calls over the original Ghost Adventures series, because they think it's a bit more grounded, a bit more authentic, a bit more real to, you know, it could happen to them kind of thing. It feels a bit more within reach than going to an alleged haunted location and getting paranormal activity. This is actually apparently happening in people's homes, which is pretty cool to see. But, of course, with the good does, of course, come the bad. And on the flip side of that coin, there's been a lot of, well, not a lot. I'm going to say probably, you know, an equal amount of negative to the positive. So some people are just disappointed straight up with Zach Bagans' absence from the show, seemingly, you know, just kind of preferencing being in his studio than actually going out to the house calls themselves and just sending a team out. That is something that a lot of people are talking about already prior to this season being announced, but it's, you know, amplified even more, with some people even going as far to say, quote, just wish Zach would be there in person, and Zach LARPs getting possessed through Zoom calls and is comfortable from his Vegas mansion. And then there's obviously skepticism about the authenticity of the show, just the door opening sequence especially, and the woman towards the end. A lot of people have a lot of skepticism about that, whether that's actually genuine. Obviously, there's a lot of room for maneuver on these kinds of episodes, and, you know, I've got my own personal feelings about Ghost Adventures. It's been caught out a couple of times, and a lot of people have come forward to say that, you know, these are the things that have happened, but such is life. Anyway, there's also concerns, actually, and this is a genuine concern that people have, about provoking spirits. Now, several fans actually dislike the approach of the House Calls episodes because they feel like by Zach and the crew going into these places and kind of poking about and, you know, riling up the spirits, so to speak, they feel like these spirits are going to get wound up, potentially even more than they already are, and are going to act out in a malevolent way when the Ghost Adventures crew inevitably do one. So there's a question about how much the Ghost Adventures crew actually support instead of actually kind of fixing the problems. Those are the main kind of sentiments. But over on a multitude of other places, they've even claimed that apparently they get called out to some emergency situations. That's what it says over on the Futon Critic, at least, where it says, well, it kind of talks about it, and then we've got the trailer here, but it says paranormal investigators Zach Bagans, Aaron Goodwood, Billy Toyley, and Jay Wasley respond to urgent calls for help in a gripping new season of Ghost Adventures House Calls, premiering Wednesday 20th, as we already know. Now, in the season premiere, Zach Bagans joins the crew for an emergency call in Las Vegas. Obviously, it would be in Las Vegas because we all know that Zach doesn't like flying. You know, that's public knowledge. I'm not sure 100% of the reason. I think he had a premonition one time of a plane crash and now he will never step foot on a plane. I think that was what it was. But a man believes his ex-wife is under a demonic possession, and worse, their teenage daughter is caught in the entity's dangerous crossfire. As the team races to intervene, can they break the demon's hold before it consumes the entire family? Later in this season, the team rushes to Ohio, an Ohio couple, whose historic dream home is consumed by chaotic and aggressive spirit activity. Investigates and a sinister force terrorizing an elderly man in an Oklahoma home that has ties to a grisly ancient past. Unravels a supernatural mystery in Missouri, and so on and so forth. We basically get the idea of the synopsis. So, yeah, there it is. A brand new season of Ghost Adventures House Calls has been announced. Mixed bag of responses from what I've seen, with a lot of people absolutely buzzing, but a lot of people kind of left disappointed once again. Let me know what you guys think about this, though. Are you excited for the brand new season of Ghost Adventures House Calls? Let me know down in the comments. And while you're down there, jump scare the hell out of that like button before you dip. And I'll speak to you later. Peace.